UFC Fight Night Jan versus Dvalishvili. In the bantamweight division, we got the early quick pick predictions going from the bottom of the card, Cedrikas Dumas and Josh Fremd, which just got added a few days ago, to the top of the card. An absolute banger, Piotr Yan and Merab Dvalishvili, also getting another main event in Nikita Krylov and Ryan Spann. This is going to be a fairly solid card, in my opinion. UFC Fight Night Yan versus Dvalishvili. If you want to see the bets that I'm going to make for this card, as well as any other card throughout the year, click the top link down below in the description. But let's get into the quick pick predictions. Cedrikas Dumas and Josh Fremd right here. I am going to go with Cedrikas Dumas to win. I haven't really been liking Josh Fremd's striking as of late. Hasn't been looking like absolutely amazing. Even in the grappling, he's getting destroyed by Anthony Hernandez, getting submitted by Tresean Gore. Josh Fremd, yeah, he did go out there and beat Joel Bauman, able to submit him, got the decision on Renato Valente. I do not believe Josh Fremd is going to go out there and just take down Cedrikas Dumas and dominate him on the ground by any means. And Cedrikas Dumas, I believe, could actually go out there and take down Josh Fremd and control him there on the ground. He's got a lot of KO wins earlier on in his career and things like that. Do I think this one's going to be a KO? No, I don't. A lot of people saying Dumas by KO. I think Cedrikas Dumas goes out there and actually gets a decision win. I think Josh wins one of the rounds, probably round number 2, but Cedrikas lands the harder shots on the feet, mixes in some takedowns, goes for a few submission attempts. I'll go Cedrikas by decision. Rafael Assunção, Davy Grant. Let's go Rafael Assunção by decision. It's going to be a 3-round striking fight. Maybe Assunção mixes in a takedown there, but I believe he's going to land a bit more volume, land the harder shots than Davy Grant. It'll be a close one. A lot of people saying Davy Grant by TKO, which is very interesting. Yeah, able to knock out Martin Day, able to knock out Jonathan Martinez, Luis Smolka. And he could very well go out there and knock out Assunção, but I think Assunção is going to barely out-edge him on the feet and get that decision. Carlson Harris, Abu Bakar Nurmagomedov, 33 and 35 years old. I'm going to be honest, I feel very good about Carlson Harris. Carlson Harris is a much better striker than Abubakar Nurmagomedov, and the jiu-jitsu's there as well. Able to go out and anaconda Christian Aguilera in his UFC debut, and Dars Saigid Isaac Ahmed. Akhmayev, I never get that name right, but he's got really good jiu-jitsu on the ground. He's tall, he's lengthy, he's the better striker. I think there's a chance Carlson Harris could knock out Abubakar in this fight and could submit him in this fight. That's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go he hurts Abubakar on the feet, Abubakar shoots for the takedown, and we got a Carlson Harris submission in round number 2, either a Dars or an anaconda like he got his 2 previous finishes by Victor Henry and Tony Gravely. This is an interesting one. This is a very, very interesting one. Tony just lost to Javid Basharat, able to beat Johnny Munoz Jr., Simon Oliveira, Anthony Burchik. I think Victor Henry's a slightly better striker. A little bit taller, similar reach. He's going to stay on the outside and outstrike Tony Gravely. Tony will mix in some takedowns, but I believe most of the damage and the punches landed are going to be landed from Victor Henry. So probably a 29-28, pretty close decision win for Victor Henry in that fight. Should be a close one. Bruno Silva, we have not seen this guy in a while. It's been a year and 8 months since he knocked out Victor Rodriguez, as well as JP Bays. Lost to Tagir Ulambekov and David Dvorak. These both guys have power, man. This is going to be a fireworks fight in the flyweight division. Tyson Am is taller, he is lengthier, and I believe he's got more power than Bruno Silva as well. Only lost to Matt Schnell in a very close split decision, and Kai Kara France. Bruno Silva is neither of them, so I think Tyson Am lands the bigger shots, lands more shots, and just because Bruno Silva has not been finished to date inside of the UFC octagon, he did get head kick KO'd in 7 seconds against Aldato Prado. It's an interesting one. It's either a decision or a KO early on for Tyson Nam. I think he might hurt him a few times, but I got this one going all the way. Tyson Nam by unanimous decision. Guido Canetti, Mario Bautista. You already know, 96% going Bautista. I'm not about to go against that. Mario Bautista is going to win. He's younger, he's taller, he's lengthier, he's the better striker, he's the better grappler. I think he should just go out there and destroy the man, the myth, the legend, Guido Canetti. So, do I go KO or do I go submission for Mario Bautista? I'm going to go, he hurts him on the feet a little bit, lands a takedown, and submits him with that rear naked choke submission that he got Brian Kelleher with in their fight. That is a prediction. Mario Bautista by submission. JJ Aldrich and Ariane Lipski in the flyweight division. I'm going to go with... That's a tough one. They're both similar height, similar reach, similar stature for the flyweight division. Ariane just got knocked out in her last fight, whereas JJ Aldrich just got... she was looking good, actually, in that fight with Erin Blanchfield before. Well, she wasn't looking too good in that fight with Erin Blanchfield. But it is a very, very tough one, in my opinion. So, I think it goes all the way, yes. But it's very, very close. Because, yeah, Ariane Lipski's been TKO 3 times in the UFC. Antonina, Montana, and Priscilla. But it's not like JJ Aldrich is going out there looking for the KO. She got 3 decisions in a row. Man, this is a tough one. I'm going to go JJ Aldrich's decision, but if there's a KO there, I'm not going to be surprised by any means. Ariane gets knocked out a lot inside of the UFC. I think JJ lands more volume, stays at range, and just keeps pushing on Ariane Lipski with a jab and 1-2, and wins a unanimous decision. Lukas Brzezinski and Carl Williams. One of these guys probably would have a good chance of being a champion if there were a 230-pound weight class or something right in between heavyweight and light heavyweight. That is where these guys fall. They're not true heavyweights, but they can't really cut down to the light heavyweight division, but they're very good pound for pound in their stature of both 236 and 233 pounds. Carl's a little bit lengthier, but not as tall as Lucas, and Carl kind of dominated the really good wrestler in Jimmy Lawson in his last fight. Showed a good ground game, but I think Lukas Brzezinski will be able to keep this one on the feet and outstrike Carl Williams for the decision. Only loss for Carl was a triangle choke a while ago. Lukas Brzezinski is not going out there looking for no submission. So I'm going to go Lukas Brzezinski by a decision. Some are saying knockout. I think it goes all the way. Next one on the main card, Ryan Spann and Nikita Krylov. You already know, you watched the prediction. I think Nikita Krylov, it is a 3-round fight, I do believe, right? It is indeed a 3-round fight. I think Nikita Krylov is going to go out there. And now the prediction is different. Now I'm actually going to have to change my prediction for this fight. Round 1, I think Nikita Krylov goes out there, gets hit with some big shots from Ryan Spann. Ryan Spann might actually get close to a finish in round number 1. Nikita will get the takedown in round number 2, and it will be a very close round. But Nikita will barely edge it out with some good ground and pound, maybe a submission attempt. And then there's going to be round 3, the striking will be pretty even. Ryan's going to be a little bit tired, going for the finish early on and then getting taken down in round 2. And then Nikita will mix in a takedown there, a little bit of ground and pound as well, win round 2 and win round 3. I know he's not used to getting like a buttload of decisions earlier on in his career, but recently, his last 2 out of 3 wins have been unanimous decisions. That's what I'm going to go here. Nikita Krylov for winning round 2, winning round 3, and winning the decision. Ricardo Ramos and Austin Lingo. Ricardo beating Danny Chavez and Arthur Portes. I didn't even... Wait, that must be a grappling match, because I do not remember this man leaving the UFC. That makes more sense there. So, beat Danny Chavez, lost to Zubaira Tukhugov, beat Bill Algeo right there, Eduardo Garagori, but the guys that he's losing to have, solid wrestling to back up their skills as well, like Zubaira Tukhugov and Lerone Murphy, and they have that power. If they don't have wrestling, if they don't have that power to back them up, Ricardo kind of just plays with them, stays on the outside, and uses his reach to just kind of land some good flashy stuff, spinning stuff and things like that. And Austin, he's a good boxer, he's a good kicker, able to beat Jacob Kilburn, Luis Saldana. doesn't really have anything. If he goes out there and he's getting outstruck by Ricardo Ramos, it's not like he can just go for the win and just go for the knockout. It's not like he just laying the takedown on Ricardo Ramos. He doesn't have like a diverse set of skills to go out there and beat Ricardo Ramos in different facets of the game. So I think this will be a 3-round striking fight. I got Ricardo Ramos winning all 3 rounds and winning the decision. Anton Turkalj and Vitor Petrino in the light heavyweight division. It's either going to be a very, very boring fight of Anton Turkalj just trying to hug Vitor Petrino at every single opportunity he possibly can, or Vitor Petrino is going to catch him on the feet, knock him out in round number 1 or in round number 2. So it's a weird one. I mean, Anton Turkalj could go out there, just control the fight on the ground and win a decision. He can get knocked out too. So it's a 50-50 fight in my opinion. One of those ones where don't bet the money line, bet the KO prop on Vitor or the decision or maybe even submission prop on Anton Turkalj. But I'm going to go Vitor Petrino. I think he should stuff a lot of the takedowns of Anton Turkalj with his explosive ability. And I think he catches the chin of Anton Turkalj, knocking him out, not in round 1, but in round number 2. Next one in the bantamweight division, Said Nurmagomedov and Jonathan Martinez in the bantamweight division. Jonathan Martinez. This is an interesting one. Jonathan Martinez recently beating Cub Swanson with like 1,000 leg kicks. Vincent Morales with a lot of leg kicks as well. Alejandro Perez and Zviad Lazishvili. It's a close one. 81% going Nurmagomedov, but Jonathan Martinez is very, very legit. Gonna make those odds and those Tapology predictions look a lot different than they are. Gonna be a 29-28 decision going either way in my opinion. I think the striking will be very, very even, but Said will be able to mix in some semblance of wrestling and grappling like he's able to do in the Cody Stamann fight, like he was able to do against Sadyokub Kakhramonov, and like he was even able to do against Douglas Silva de Andrade. There's a little bit of wrestling sprinkled in as well, along with the spinning kicks. Jonathan Martinez's leg kicks. It's going to be a close one. I got Said decision. Alexander Volkov, Alexander Romanov. I'm going to go Alexander Romanov by decision, winning round 1, winning round 2, and losing round number 3. Alexander Romanov, well, yes, he is a lot better of a striker than Alexander. And yes, Alexander just lost to Marcin Tybura because he gassed out in round number 1. He's going to play this one a lot more smart. Once he gets to the takedown in round number 1, he's going to look not to like go for the finish immediately, but to kind of control that position to make sure he doesn't waste the energy and have that situation where he's gassing out in the later rounds as well. So I think he wins round 1, leaves a lot of energy in round number 2 to get the finish, and then, Volkov's going to do very good in round number 3. Romanov decision. Next one in the bantamweight division, Piotr Yan and Merab Dvalishvili. In the bantamweight division, I am going to go Piotr Yan to win. Just turned 30 years old 1 month ago. He is younger. He is taller. Not as lengthy as Merab, but a much better striker than Merab Dvalishvili, who was, getting hurt against Marlon Moraes in his last fight. That was an all-out war. If you were getting hurt by Marlon Moraes at that stage in his MMA career, Piotr Yan is going to land some good shots on him as well. So I think this fight is going to come down to Piotr Yan's training camp, because Merab, his training camp is just to get better at striking, which isn't going to help because Piotr Yan is just that far superior of a striker. Now, all I would want to know, if I was a fly on the wall in Piotr Yan's training camp, I want to see how good his takedown defense is. I want to see how much his sprawl is developing, his getting the underhook, getting up and defending the takedowns of Merab Dvalishvili throughout the entire 5 rounds. Doing this after a 10-mile run where you're doing that and you're super, super tired. Can you still defend the relentless machine Merab Dvalishvili's takedowns? I don't know, and I'm saying yes, he will be able to, just based off of the fact it's all he really needs to worry about in his training camp up until this fight with Merab Dvalishvili. He doesn't need to go out there and train and spar and box. He needs to wrestle. I think that's exactly what he's doing, and he'll be able to defend most of these takedowns and win 3 out of the 5 rounds outboxing Merab Dvalishvili. It's going to be a lot of Merab getting jabbed in 1-2s in those later rounds and just diving down for the legs. Petr Yan stuffing them back to the V1-2 takedown again, stuffing. I mean, Merab is relentless. You got to give him that. He will keep on going no matter what. If you're going for a double leg and he defends the takedown, he's going to go for a double leg in like 15 seconds. Beware of this man, Merab Dvalishvili. The dude goes for it. When he wants that takedown, he's going to go for that takedown. So it's going to be a close fight in my opinion. The odds should be -110, -110, because all it comes down to is the training camp that Petr Yan is going to have. How good of a training camp will Petr Yan have? That's pretty much it in my opinion. So that's the card. I got Petr Yan winning. I got Alexander Romanov winning. Said Nurmagomedov, Vitor Petrino, Ricardo Ramos, Nikita Krylov, Lukas Brzezinski, JJ Aldrich, Mario Batista, Tyson Nam, Victor Henry, Carlston Harris, Rafael Assunção, and Cedriques Dumas. I'm not 100% sure if I have any underdogs. Jan is a favorite. Lukas Brzezinski is the underdog. So I guess we got an underdog. Lukas Brzezinski, our first underdog. Vitor's a favorite. Aldrich is a favorite. Ricardo Ramos is a favorite. Mario Batista, 10-1. Oh my gosh. Bruno da Silva. We have two underdogs in Tyson Nam right there, who actually started as the favorite. Alexander Romanov's a slight underdog as well. Interesting. Victor Henry. What are his odds? -140 is what they're at right now, but I'm wondering what they started at. Was he the underdog at the start? The heck? -140. So he was at -150. Some people started betting Tony, and then they bet Victor back. Interesting. Carlston Harris is a slight favorite. And Rafael Assunção. I didn't even think I'd have this many underdogs in the card, but gosh dang, I do. I got Rafael Assunção +140. I got Alexander... Never mind. They're both Alexander. Alexander Romanov's a slight favorite, so that one doesn't count. I got Rafael Assunção, Tyson Nam. I have Lukas Brzezinski, and I think that's it. All right. Those are the underdogs in the card. Those are the full card predictions. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.